It's just been great hearing all these songs come back again, getting a
Yeah.
new life, getting a new beat. And it's a win win situation for me.
Hi, Raveena. Thank you so much for joining us. Such a pleasure to be speaking to you today.
My pleasure too, Kashika.
You've played complex women several times in your career. Do these sort of roles take over your life for a certain duration? For example, in movies like Satta or Daman, more recently Matra, when you prep for them, when you play them, when you put yourself in their shoes and you make their struggles your own, do you lose yourself in them or do you easily shrug them off when you walk off the set?
It's been too many years down the line now. I know when to shut off. Uh, but there are times when I can't. There are times when it kind of carries. Like when I played the role that I played in Matra,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to shrug it off. I've been advocating, fast track justice for women, and being very, very vocal about violence against women and children since
Hmm.
many, 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 many years now, and I've been working towards it. Worked with a lot of foundations on that,
Right.
and I still feel that there is so much, so much, so much more to be done. I don't think things have changed since then to
Right.
now. I don't think criminals really fear the law.
Hmm.
Somewhere our law has so many loopholes that it just takes years and years and years for a
Right.
case to be heard. In the interim, the poor victim is threatened and
Hmm.
probably violated all over again
Hmm.
many times over, whether it's verbally or justice or anything that goes towards this case. And we've seen so many criminals being out on bail and going back and threatening
Yeah.
the victim and the family. So the victim is victimized again and again.
Yeah.
And I think I did Matra in which year, and um, from then to now, I don't think anything's changed.
Yeah.
But I think we shall all still continue to raise our voices and speak towards that.
So you're making your OTT debut with Aranyak, and right off the bat, you've chosen this like creepy, mysterious show where
Yep.
just that minute-long teaser left me with so many questions. These sort of shows are never easy to watch, but super hard to look away from.
Correct.
So, and I can already like imagine that your character Kasturi also has an entire backstory that is compelling and layered. So, talk to us a little bit about how you got into this character mentally, but also physically. And I don't mean like working out to look like a cop, but did you have to do something different to physically inhabit a cop?
Honestly, see, I'm a huge fan of these, typical whodunit crime thrillers. Okay, that's the first thing I reach out for, is to watch something that has completely got me by the throat, right?
Right.
That I want to binge watch. I don't want to let go. I want to see what it is all about. So for me, when this came along, I think it was like, yes, this is what I've been waiting to do. And I've had this always this secret wish kind of a thing that I've always wanted to be cop. Even when
Right.
I before I joined the industry, if you read my old interviews right from the 90s, I've always said I idolized Kiran Bediji when she was
Right.
one of the pioneers in women being, and being taken seriously as tough cops.
Right.
And then there's so many who came along, Meera Bawankar ji, and I mean, you name them, and there are so many women who are, such successful cops and
Right.
respected in their field of work. And that's something I've really looked up to. So this was something that really came to me, and the entire struggle of women being in a career where they have to give it their 100%, plus they have to give their home, their family, their children,
Yeah.
their husband, their in-laws also their 100%,
Right.
and the kind of support that they don't get. There are so many successful women who thank their
Hmm.
families for giving them the kind of support and giving them, being the wind beneath their wings to make them
Right.
reach where they are and have been successful. And of course, me being me, honestly, if I was a very top successful cop, I would have gone on stage, and if I would have ever got an award, I would have said I would start off with thanking me for being,
That's absolutely right, though.
for being so hardworking and sincere and trying to
Yeah.
be everywhere, trying to be the good mother, the good daughter, the good daughter-in-law, the good wife, and the good person on the sets as far as even work is concerned. So I would start off with thanking me, and then of course I would thank my family for all the support that they've given. But there are so many out there who don't get that kind of support,
Right.
and still wanting to pursue their careers and being involved, and that really was close to my heart,
Hmm.
and it kind of just worked out very well when I said yes to Aranyak.
Perfect. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the roles that you've been taking on now. Kasturi, for example, seems like a woman in her 40s. These are roles meant for women who are your age, as opposed to either casting you in a supporting role or asking you to play someone much younger. My question is, are there enough such roles being written right now for you, or is there still a gap between your tremendous talent and what filmmakers are being able to
I
leverage out of?
don't think anymore that there is a
Okay.
gap. I could have probably said the same thing 10, 11 years ago,
Hmm.
or 10 years ago, or probably even 8 years ago.
Hmm.
But now I think there is a lot more scope. And in fact, there is a lot more work that I can actually accommodate. So there is
Right.
a lot of projects that I actually let go and say, sorry, yeah, I won't be able to do it. And, apologetically. So I would love to do all.
Hmm.
But I think it's a good time for people in my space, in my category, in my age category as well.
Right.
It is great for us because I think OTT platform has kind of broadened our horizons. It's kind of brought a lot of cinema that earlier we would have factors which would be holding us back. There's so
Hmm.
many things. It would be, oh, the story won't be accepted by the masses. Oh, इसमें वो formula नहीं है. Oh, इसमें ये वो वो type का नहीं. You know how it is. Those
Yeah.
all those reasons of not being able to experiment into what our filmmakers actually want to say a kind of
Right.
story that they believe in, but unfortunately might not have the commercial value for it to hit.
Hmm.
There'd be constraints as far as the box office, etc. concerns are there, and hence I feel this has given that entire it has given a platform to that entire range of storytellers, directors, filmmakers who want to get that experimental cinema out, who want to experiment different things, show you something different, get something that's completely jaw dropping, which under normal circumstances maybe you would
Right.
not go in a theater to see, but you'd be bold enough to sit and say, okay, now this is what I want to
Yeah.
watch, at my pace, at my
Hmm.
time. And I think
Hmm.
it works for me and my mindset.
It's been 30 years for you in the industry, right? Patthar Ke Phool released in 1991. So what are you most proud of in your career so far, and what has been your biggest learning from it?
What I'm really proud of is the kind of legacy that I couldn't call it my legacy. That would be too big a word to describe it. But it's
I
just
don't
when
think so.
you compliment me on my professionalism, the
Hmm.
no tantrum kind of star, a producer's actor, plucky mascot, hardworking, sincere, always on time, punctual. Um, a producer's actor is what I always used to be called, and
Hmm.
that I think is something that I'm proud of. I don't leave a legacy behind of being an unreasonable, a difficult actor to work with.
Hmm.
And I think that is what I'm proud of, is my professionalism and my hard work.
That's amazing. And what has been your biggest learning from your career?
I'm learning still every day. Believe me, the new things, and I try to evolve and I try to adapt, and I'm learning every day.
Okay. And okay, so my final question, very close to my heart. So you started working in the 90s, and 90s movies and 90s heroines are iconic for millennials. And you were there when these films were being made. You starred in so many of them. You made those songs iconic. What do you think is the reason that decade has such an intense fandom and such enduring popularity?
I honestly feel that the best time for Indian music has been the 70s, where there was melody and there was music and there was everything, and then the
Hmm.
90s.
Right.
There was a slight phase in the 80s, towards the late 80s, again, where melody and all started coming in with songs like, with films like Pyar Jhukta Nahi and a lot of other
Hmm.
movies where melodies started becoming king again. And then the 90s had fantastic music all over again. And I think it's just that, they're so hummable even now. You remember the lyrics even
Yeah.
now, And I think it's just great. The time of music was superb. Even today's time,
Yeah.
music is really, really, really amazing. It's just been great hearing all these songs come back again, getting a
Yeah.
new life, getting a new beat, and it's a win-win situation for me from then to
Yeah.
now.
They're still your songs. They'll always be your songs.
I end up owning them again.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Thank you so much, Raveena, for such a great interview. All the
Seriously,
best for Aranyak. Can't
thanks so
wait
much.
to watch it.
Bye. Thank you.